Hi Nate, this is Alan Cockrell with ABC, former hitting coach for the Colorado Rockies and the Seattle Mariners. I'm going to take a look at your video this afternoon, take a look at some key points, positions that I always pay attention to with my hitters. And the first thing that we always try to maintain is just good balance and keeping the knees inside the feet, and then keeping my head inside my knees is a pretty good reference point. I want to have good equal bend in both knees. You can see here you got pretty good athletic position right there. Kind of like your setup and what you're doing. Okay, we're going to run this forward. Okay, into the load process. Okay, the load is we're trying to gather weight to the inside part of this back leg. And the reason I want it on the inside part of this back leg because I don't want my knee getting outside my back foot. That's going to create some problems for me. Okay, so I want to feel the weight in my load in the inside part of this back leg. Okay, now we're going to get down to the foot down position. Okay, most people, and I think you were included in this, your toe will land first, and then the back heel will land in the ground. And when that heel lands into the ground, we are now fully loaded. Okay, now this position, the loaded position, I'm going to take a look at a couple other things. The first thing you can see here is you've stepped out, maybe probably towards the first baseman. Okay, and what that does is that opens up your hips. When this heel lands into the ground, we want these hips to be squared up because we've stepped towards the first baseman or second baseman. It's going to cause that front hip to want to come out of there a little bit quick. Okay. Next thing I look for is that, again, you know, are our knees inside of our feet? Do we have good equal bend in our knees? Actually in a pretty good position there. I'd like to see this knee. I'd like to see it more inside that front foot, and obviously keeping that stride more right back at the pitcher. Okay. The biggest thing that I look for is when that heel plants. Okay, that stride foot comes down. This stride foot right here should not be more open than 45 degrees, and you can see yours is at 62 degrees. So that is another thing that's going to cause this front hip to want to come out of there quick, and it's going to make it very difficult to hit pitches that are on the outer half of the plate or the outer third of the plate. Okay, when you get a little bit older and pitchers start throwing curveballs, and particularly left-handed pitchers are throwing you curveballs and sliders and balls that are breaking away from you, it's going to be very difficult because we need to be squared up with these hips. And if this stride foot right here is not at a 45-degree angle, then that front hip's going to want to leak out of there every time. Okay, so that would be one thing that we would need to try to clean up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to get into the swing. The swing is, there's two parts. There's a lower half, and then obviously there's the hands. That's what we hold the bat with. So the lower half, it gives direction to the ball and drive through the ball. So it's my power. Now your direction has already started to go a little bit towards the first baseman, so it's going to be tough to stay on the ball away. But to drive the ball with my lower half, I want to drive this back knee, transfer that weight that I had in here into my back leg. I want to transfer it to the inside part of that front thigh. That's how I transfer weight and get power into my swing. Okay? The first move with the hands is elbow will drop down in the slot, and then I'm going to get a connection with my shoulder. My elbow and my back hip are all going to be in alignment. All right, and let's see if you get there. Okay, you get to a pretty good position. I've just drew my line a little bit too far back, but you're in a pretty good position there. The only thing that I would want to pay attention to here is just making sure this knee is more inside that front foot. Okay, we don't want that knee kind of gliding out over the front foot. There's nothing to hit into that's going to keep us from going forward and can kind of continuing to come out and off the ball a little bit. All right, so we're going to go forward. Got that good connection. The hands are starting to work out to the ball. This pitch looks to be outer half, maybe outer third, and I think just because our front side has leaked open and gone over towards the first base side, I think we've just come off this ball a little bit. This is a pitch that, you know, if we can, like we talked about earlier, if we can keep you a little bit more squared up right here, you know, if that foot lands right there, you know, that would put us at, I don't know, probably 50 degrees. Let's measure it. if that foot comes down right there, and that foot is right here, that puts us at 51 degrees, which is not bad. And that's going to give you a chance to stay on that pitch that you just got right there. See how your hips are more squared up? This knee is inside that front foot. Really, I think what we need to do, Nate, is we need to get you on a tee and set that tee on the outer half and the outer third of the plate. And we need to get this stride consistent with being at 45 degrees or less, so that this front hip right here stays in there a little bit longer. It stays squared up on that ball, and that's gonna let you take your hands and bat and maximize your bat speed through that ball. So let's just set a tee on the outer half, outer third. Okay, let's set that tee even with your stride foot right here on the outer third of the plate, maybe just inside your stride foot on the outer third of the plate. And let's just work on getting to this position. Let's work on getting to this position where our foot is down at a 45 degree, right in there, and these hips are squared up, okay? Now when you drive this back knee into that front leg, let's focus on keeping that knee inside that foot and really feel the bat speed and the extension driving this ball. In a cage, you would drive this ball to the left side of the cage. If you were to do this drill on the field, you would drive this ball into left center field or through the shortstop. And it's just something that's going to help you handle all pitches, because you don't really need to open up to handle the ball in. We just need to be down and squared up early enough so that we can get the good drive with the back leg into the inside part of that front leg. Okay? I think if we can keep you in there a little bit longer, you're going to end up hitting pitches on both sides of the strike zone probably equally well, and honestly, you'll probably start hitting the ball out away from you a little bit better than you will the ball in. So it's something that'll help you as you continue to play baseball, and will help you cover all the pitches in the entire strike zone, and it'll just make you a better hitter all the way around, bud. So I want to thank you for coming to our camp. I really feel like this drill will help you a huge amount, and I just want to wish you luck. Thanks, bud.